All right, welcome everybody to our first Moon Colony live stream of the year. I am joined by the terrific Tulio Brito. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, man. It's a pleasure being here, doing some drawing and painting with the with everyone in the chat. I hope they they enjoy and they draw too with us.
Likewise, feel free to draw along the way as we do our lovely study. As you can see, we're already collecting some references for what we're going to be doing today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have planned for us in this lovely live stream?
Yeah, I really love some characters from comics. So I just think in do a take a design that we didn't see yet on Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I don't know, try to give a more realistic or believable painting and playing around. And one of those characters that I didn't read a lot comics about this one, but I saw a lot of image in the internet is the old King Thor. I think it's very cool design of this old man, huge guy. So I'll try to do a portrait or bust with 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 this dude here. So I really like to paint old guys, so I'll try to paint this old guy right.
Awesome. Yeah, Thor's a really fun character to draw. He's very kind of strong silhouette, strong character features. Um, what kind of study are we looking to do? Like, are we any particular elements we want to practice here, like rendering, anatomy?
To explore a little bit of portrait will be the face will be the focal point, so will be the major thing that I will try to improve and explore a little bit. I have already the design. I'll, I use most of this kind of cape and armor stuff. I don't know if you will see much of that, but I think it's a more rendering and design study. I think it would be cool to do. I do this once of a while, so I think it'd be nice to hear it in live stream.
Awesome. Yeah. I hope you all enjoy it. This is going to be a pretty relaxed session. If you have any questions for Tulio, feel free to ask him in the chat, and we'll get you some cool art knowledge.
Yeah, I hope if anyone have any question, feel free to ask. I will answer my best. I will start to drawing here until I find a good silhouette and pose and expression that we can paint above it. So let's go.
Very nice. How long have you been a fan of Marvel comics for?
I have comics since I was a kid, but I did buy from some I don't know how is the exactly name in English is that like where they used to sell newspaper. So I
Mm.
did buy randomly the comics. So I have I'm reading this since I was like 10 years 10 years old. So it's a long time that I read. But I did stop, and nowadays I don't. I think almost everyone don't read too much, but I have good memories of that time.
Yeah.
And you, do you read something? Did you read a lot of comic books when you was a kid?
It's funny when I think of the comics I was reading. I think I was a big Bionicle fan, and they had some really interesting comics with those characters. They were kind of like these biomechanical cyborgs with elemental powers, and I think they were published by Dark Horse, which is the third wheel of the comics industry, as it were. But I read like a little bit of Marvel and DC and the old classics. But I need to properly get into it. That's one of my New Year's resolutions is becoming more media literate.
Yeah, indeed, man. A long time that I don't read a whole book. I just start something and stop. I did try to listen more audiobooks
Hmm.
and did work for a while,
Yeah,
but
audiobooks are a fun
it's
medium.
yeah they are it's like podcast. You don't need You don't need to pay too much attention, and it's good when you are already on the flow in the work.
Mm. Yeah, the trouble is though that you lose your memory of like what's happening in the story. You're like, wait, what? I was half listening, and now it's we're in a weird situation where I'm not sure where the plot's gone.
Exactly. I have to come back like half hour to see how I did end up on this bar,
Mm.
talk with this guy in the story.
Yeah, they need like a previously on segment where you can just like get a little summary of everything that you missed while you were sleeping. Um, so yeah, what? Tell us about this sketch that's happening. This is coming together pretty quickly. I notice.
Yeah, I just trying to. I have some reference here of old dude. I just trying to get a angle that would be cool to painting. Put some elements, some key elements that I see on the reference, like the cape and the this round stuff that I always have on Thor armor.
Mm.
So I don't know if I will. This will be the the real one that I'll go through it, but I just like this face angle.
Yeah, there's
Just like
definitely more of like that Norse design element in the kind of old man Thor than the kind of standard Marvel Chris Hemsworth appearance that they have for him.
yeah, indeed, indeed. I'll try to bring a little bit of the likeness of the Chris Hemsworth, but uh, I'm not sure how much time I will have to.
Yeah, we have about an hour or so, but we can always take a little extra time if need be. That's an option.
Yeah, we'll see how things go.
I heard also that we were going for a bit of possible Dave Raposa inspiration on this piece.
Yeah, indeed, I really liked his portrait that he did on the when I did start searching
Mm.
for digital painting and stuff, and his I have here to show his portrait stuff with Teenage Turtle and other IPs.
Ah, the
It's really
classics.
iconic. Yeah, those here. I think this fit well for their live streams because it's not a too big piece, but yeah, this here probably it take a lot of time, but I think it's something that we can reach to the painting stage.
Yeah, probably don't need to like render to the point of complete photorealism, but we can get as far as we can.
Yeah, that would be great.
And yeah, folks, if you have any questions about Tulio's process, feel free to ask away. We are here to enlighten you with art knowledge. That is our plan today. Let's see who's in the chat. We have Elvira, we have Raccoon, Fumancio. Welcome, everyone. Awesome to see you here. So, what's your usual approach to making a very quick painting like this? Like, I see we're kind of doing like a sketchy line art, and as our first step.
Yeah, indeed. I'll just try to find the overall structure, line, and perspective about the subject, and try to make it a little more appealing some way. Uh, I think the key element here is to have a good face shot here,
Mm.
and I'll try this angle or and another one or two and see what best suits for the character. Maybe some angry faces. Old man with angry faces is always cool to see it, so maybe I'll try more exaggerate expressions. I usually start to drawing some some more rough like this, and then I refine a little bit and come with values or flat colors,
Mm.
and then lighting stuff, and I will be rendering. Since we have already the design here, we don't need to think too much on the design part.
Yeah, about 10 minutes of work, pretty really solid progress. There's always that divisive debate that I keep seeing in many art circles of do we begin with rendering from grayscale, or we just go straight into the color and go from there? What's your take on the matter?
In this one, I will go for grayscale because I'll try to apply some gradient map. It will be cool to the people see how easily we can paint a black white image. There is some times that I prefer this way. Usually I go directly with colors, but
Hmm.
in the end of the day, don't make too much difference in in the the end result. But but it's always cool you have more tools in the belt.
Yeah, it's good to have options. I think a lot of folks can kind of lock themselves into a singular method or technique of painting, and that must be the only way they do things. But, experimenting with different options is a good way to kind of, expand your repertoire of abilities.
Yeah, indeed. I think my problem is because I try too many process, to
Mm.
be honest. So I can paint this with flat colors. I can paint this on black and white, and then apply gradient map. I can this in try to. Sometimes I just keep the line. Sometimes I try to start on something with 3D.
Mm.
I just try a bunch of things and see what works.
Mm. We have an interesting question from Raccoon Girl. Do you ever forget some of your process and have to relearn again?
Oh, I usually this happen with certain projects that I I have a process for that kind of image, and then I stay a long time away from this project, and when I come back, I have to remember how was exactly the process that I used to be faster. That that happens a lot.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. It can be. It's like riding a bicycle in many ways, but also, you need to keep up those skills unless you want to lose them. Uh, Mansu says, "When will we have a West brush?" That's a good question. Um, once we get a good picture of my face, nice professional photo shoot, then we'll make the West
would be
brush.
cool. Would be cool to use a brush with your face, man. I'm sure we could do a lot of cool rendering.
We'll figure it out. I got some nice creases in my face that we can you know offers a nice texture. Even a great artist goes through the same dimension loop. Yeah, honestly, and I remember starting out. I would definitely forget big parts of my process and be like, do I even know how to draw? Um, like, surely professionals don't feel this way too, right? Right? There's no
Oh,
way.
I do, man. I sometimes I did start something like design, and I did forget how I do design,
Hmm.
how I think like this, and then the things come together. And say, yeah, yeah, I have to use these. I have to do this too. I have to check this. I could improve this way, but I think it's always a trick to go because I usually do characters or illustrations. Is what I work with most time. So sometimes I do a long term doing characters, and then I start illustration and say, oh man,
Hmm.
how I do composition. And then I come together. I study some things. I just start, and things come together. But I think this happened to everyone.
Hmm. What
I think
kind?
it's a part of evolution. You try to rethink again what you
Hmm.
already do. See what you can improve, what you know more. Because I like to draw. I like to do to paint, and I like to do 3D sometimes. So every time I did start like a illustration or a character, I want to do everything. And,
What kind of studies do you find help you kind of gain your skills back? Like, what do you usually do?
oh, for illustration, I usually copy some masters or some
Hmm.
illustration that I like it, or I try to take a picture that is not perfect as a composition. Try to use the fundamentals of the composition to improve
Hmm.
that picture in the study. I try to give better shapes. I try to give better division between grounds. Because the same way I will think with the reference. It will be the same way I will think to improve my composition.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's
this is for composition. For character, you can you have a ton of things that you can study. Like you can study just the anatomy. You can study another artist. Like uh, you can take, I don't know, like Overwatch, and try to break
mm,
the characters in simple forms, in simple shapes, in silhouettes, and all that will help you when you create your own.
totally. Elvira says, spend 1 week rendering a big piece. How do you draw lines? Yeah, that's the life. That's how it goes. Your brain
Yeah, but
only.
it's part of the process
Mm,
to spend a lot of time studying.
yeah, your brain only
Sorry,
has
it's a bit.
so much inventory space, so much RAM, and if you learn too much of something, then yeah, you need to load shed a bit of information. We got a question from Bob. If this were a client project, how much time would you expect it to take for a fully rendered version?
Oh, depends on how much the picture will be. If it is like this, will be like, I don't know, 20 hours, 10 hours. Depend of the how render and how is the style. If a simple style will be faster, will be a more detailed and realistic style will be longer. Like this will be like 30 hours, and a full character will be like 30 to 40 hours.
Hmm.
Depend on the process, yeah, and the render style. I think it's a major thing to consider.
That makes sense. On the topic of style, Raccoon Girl would like to know: do you ever try a specific style, have it not work, and then you have to start over again?
Oh, a bunch of times. A
Hmm.
bunch of times. I did try to paint like a very famous Brazilian guy, Mike Azevedo, and I did try like
Yes.
I don't know, 6 times, 5, 6 times, I don't know. Every time that I try to do that, I'd come back to to my same process. But you learn a lot about trying to copy another artist's process.
Yeah, Mike Azevedo. Yeah, I've seen his work before. It's very good stuff.
Yeah, he's tried to drawing, and then he tried to put the occlusion in the drawing, and suddenly he puts the flat colors with shit, and then he's done. And you see how I have the video how I can undo this process.
uh, Recurring Ghost says, so it's fine to start again, right? I mean, starting over with a piece, I feel like that happens to a lot of folks, no?
Yeah, I think it's part of the process to learn your own step by step that work better for you.
Yeah, so it's a resounding yes. It is always fine. Um, Obviously, if you have a quick turnaround time for a client piece, you might need to streamline your process a bit. But, if you're working on personal work, I mean, feel free to do it as much as you like. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's always good you see how other people approach the same project, the same problem, that give you ideas, not to copy everything, but to copy some aspects that could work work better for you.
Totally. Let's see. Um, yeah. And out of curiosity, actually, how long have you been drawing for?
How long I have been? Yeah, since I was a kid.
Hmm.
So, but I've been the question is how much time I've been drawing. Like a professional artist would be like this.
Sure.
Yeah, it would be like, I don't know. I think like 8 years, I guess.
Wow.
8 years. I'm not sure to be honest. I would check my Instagram and I start to post is studying and start to really start to be a professional artist.
Hmm.
But I think it would be something like that, like 8, 9 years, I guess.
What do you think helped you improve the most along the way? Like what kind of contributed to your growth as an artist?
Oh, it's a good question. I think is try to to break the like a character. I try to break it into
Hmm.
fundamentals and try to approach each fundamentals, and sometimes to seek another artist or course or something that give me another view about how to study it. Trying to know what I I it's a little fun to say, but try to know what I don't know that I don't know. You know.
Hmm. Yeah.
So trying to open the eyes for the things I'm not paying attention. That's a good thing. Like a mentorship or a new course. I think this help a lot because sometimes we read a book like Color and Light from
James
Color and
Gurney.
Light from James Gurney,
Yeah.
but you don't catch everything on the first reading.
Hmm.
Sometimes you read something and 1 year from now you remember. Now that makes sense. Now I can use that. Yeah, exactly. You have to always to be trying to see the same subject in the other perspective and studying by yourself. You know. So I'm trying to think where I will place the hammer of this guy.
The Hammer of Thor.
Yeah, the problem if the hammer is here, it will be too in the be in front of here too much. I'm trying to make a silhouette more graphic,
Hmm.
you know, just to looks cool. But I think this hammer would be.
I'm curious. Is this the sort of line work that we would just like go straight to colors from, or are we going to be doing like a refined pass, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I probably will do this rough after these rough lines. I'll just lower the opacity, redefine some things probably,
Mhm.
and start to paint in black white.
Nice. Yeah, we got about 40 minutes, so we got plenty of time. Um, Mayu Live asks, what made you jump from a semi-professional to professional artist that now works in the industry? Was it rough for you as a character illustrator?
Oh, I think I did start most with illustration, and then I get a little more professional when I go to characters
Mm.
because I start to do a bunch of characters for a miniature. So I think the quantity of work that you do along the years that will make you more professional in that area. So the first thing that I became most confident in doing was character because the volume. So I think the answer will be the volume of work and studying that fundamentals, the compose that kind of work.
Mm. Yeah, study those fundamentals, kids. That's always good advice
Yeah,
to have. Um,
yeah. Like if you like character, study anatomy of of humans, of animals. You always can mix up the both anatomies. Study like design of how they design the characters for the games, how works the shape language. It's a lot of things when you're starting. You kind of you get lost of so much subject, but you go studying slowly each topic, and along the years you start to get it.
Heck yeah. Um, we have a question from It's Hercules. From looking at your portfolio, you have an amazing and deep understanding of rendering. If we're not able to see most of that process here, how are we able to find or reach you otherwise?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I check Instagram more often. It's like Instagram and email,
Hmm.
but probably it will be easy to reach me on the Instagram. I will answer faster there.
Yeah,
But
send.
Henry, in the end of the day, Henry is the I think is the most easily part of you get. You paint a good amount of of studies, and then you can paint many things. But if you want to improve your render, I think the obvious recommendation would be How to Render from Scott. I think Scott Robertson.
Hmm.
It's a it's a cool book that. he explained what what you need to do some cool renders.
Very nice. Um, hey, Bartha, welcome. Bob says, thank you for the answer above. Also, how do you approach pricing your work for new clients?
Yeah, you already have after years of the years you have a idea of the range of the price of each kind of work, but will vary a lot to every client and to every stage in your career. So you always can ask your artist friend that do that same work because they easily way to know how to price it. But you can always ask how much is the fee that the client is the budget of the client when you don't have absolutely sure
Hmm.
to tell a price first.
Yeah, it's definitely good to talk about it with your artist friends, who are working. Oftentimes, artists will try to vastly over or undersell themselves, which is never a great situation to begin. So, yeah, it's ask questions to people who work in the industry. It's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just it's a funny thing this thing of price because you see like sometimes I see some artists that work for huge IPs like Marvel concepts, and they do some cards for Magic, the other kind of fees. You see that they work in a high fee, of course, but there is a range of each project, because some clients will be selling that product to a bigger target of people, and they have more budget, and that require more structure, more people reviewing your work, and that will be a bigger budget for the project. And sometimes it's a small project, the work will not be so profit, so the goal is different. So it's it's kind of hard to there is no rule. So it's always good to ask. Everyone ask to each other is a common thing. I don't know if everyone say talk openly about that, but I can tell you by myself that I did ask a lot to my friend how much they were they was charging for the project, how much they think should be fair to me charge. I think is a
Yeah,
will help you.
I think there's a video on YouTube by Forrest Emil. He's a senior concept artist at Blizzard, and while he was working as a freelancer, he made this kind of video like talking about all his different freelance projects for like a bunch of different companies, and was like, "Hey, here's how much I charge for this, and here's how much the company paid me for this." And it was very illuminating to hear all like those very specific figures because I think not many people are keen to talk about that. Not really sure why, but people get shy when it comes to money. So yeah, as much as artists can kind of share information with one another, I think is a positive thing for everybody.
Yeah, indeed. I saw a lot of videos from Forrest
Mm.
on ArtStation. He have a bunch of tutorials and beginners, fundamentals, and all his career path. And that's great to buy it and look at. And you can see his evolution as an artist, and you can imagine yourself in the point of the evolution that you are and the fundamentals that you need to keep going. It's good to see the other people's evolution to see that it's possible.
Yeah, totally. Um, Gustavo says, "Hello, Tulio Brito.
Which
Hello."
Gustavo it is? Gustavo.
Gustavo
Oh,
Creations.
hello, Gustavo. Yeah, it's a amazing illustrator and unbelievable drawer. This guy drawing like nobody, man. One day in my life I'll be able to do a gesture like he does. It's like unbelievable. Looks like he have like some 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 deal with the devil. I bet he did. He have.
Oh, very high praise. Alrighty. We're at about 30 minutes, so I think at this point we could probably um, get into rendering or coloring if we so desire. It's up to you, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I just trying to solve. I think I will not do I'll try to do more lines, more define more structure here, and maybe a little bit on the hand, and then start already with some values and black white stuff.
Cool. And at this point, are we using any reference, or is this purely from imagination?
Oh, I had a reference for the angle of the face, but then the rest that just just come off of my mind. I think this was a cool gesture and a cool silhouette of I have here, and I think I'll just have to improve this hand, the drawing of this hand here, and improve a little bit of the expression and yeah, the structure here, and I'll start to put some values.
Yeah, hands are allowed to be blocks. It's allowed. It's permitted.
I'll just I'll just crop here to don't need to draw the hand. It's a
That's all you need.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Hey guys, we're only doing a portrait stream today. Yeah, sorry about the rest of the body. Just wasn't in the budget, you know?
Yeah, they're paying me just enough to do the face here.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'll start to charge for the streaming if I have to draw the hand.
Yeah, the hand fee. It's that's how they get you. They nickel and dime it, these artists.
Hand fee. I start to use the hand fee. But to be honest, sometimes this angle is very common. But sometimes when I have a specific angle of the hand, I'll do it myself here and just just just
Yeah, get a bit
shoot
of
a
that.
reference. Yeah. Oh, thank you, man.
Oh, I'll just keep it right here. There you
No,
go.
just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
This is my new face. Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, man.
I'll
Don't
sync
worry.
it up. I'll lip sync it. That's Recurrent Girl suggests, or make him do those anime girl hands going to the back always works. What is the anime girl hand? What does that mean?
Oh, I have no clue about that, Wes.
I mean,
Absolutely no.
I mean, like, do anime people, do they, like, just hide their hands behind their back so they don't have to draw it? Is that the secret?
Oh, probably like I don't
Yeah.
know, like have a girl here. She's like his hand is behind his waist.
I can't show my hands. I have a terrible curse upon them. It would drive you insane to look upon.
It would be something like that, I guess.
Hmm. Alrighty.
Yeah, I think this.
Kawaii, though. Indeed, it is very kawaii. Kawaii Thor. Oh, yes, kawaii Thor. Yeah, if we can just give
What
Thor,
would
like,
be
some
a
nice
kawaii?
anime eyes.
Yeah, I'll put those giant eyes here with. No way, that was a eye patch.
Elvira wants to know, is this a style crossover stream now? See, this is what we were talking about earlier. You know, you gotta experiment with different styles. You know, you're always keeping yourself on your toes. You don't want to get complacent. Uh, Star Guardian Thor
Yeah,
doesn't sound too bad, indeed.
I'm just wondering, his hand is all yeah, it's all metal.
Oh yeah,
So it's a metal hand.
that's interesting. Hey Shiro, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So nice to have you here.
I think I'll block his silhouette. Will look cool.
Let's do it. Silhouetted dramatically against the lightning.
I think it's a little bit slow if I have too much rest here, so I have to cheat and use the last two.
Hey, lasso tool isn't cheating. It's a part of the process. Uh,
Yeah, yo, tell this to my friend Gustavo. He 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 don't paint with. He just paint tradition in the monitor. It's not allowed to use last two in his presence.
Well then, Gustavo Creations, you've heard the royal decree of Tulio, King Tulio.
I'll
Incorporate
do
that
this.
into your worldview.
I'll do this scene in front of him.
It's allowed. We're allowed to have a little bit of sin as a treat. Um, Shiro says, drawing a bit with you, is this a study for a Marvel idea or Marvel Snap or similar? Is this Marvel Snap inspired by chance?
Oh no, to be honest, it's not. I just want to draw some heroes. I don't know. I have a I was influenced a little bit because I did saw when you asked me about live stream, I did see a live stream from Ghost Rider, from Dave Raposo, and I did
Oh
see
yeah.
a live stream from Gabriel Rubio from Colony doing doing Storm from X Men. So I don't
Yeah.
know. My head just connects and say you need to draw a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We're doing the source material of Marvel Snap. The OG Thor. Old man Thor. Old guy.
I think right now, if I, what if, what if the light enter by here? I'm just thinking here how I will, if I should take the hair here to project the shadow here to be more dramatic. Sometimes it's nice to try to think ahead of the process, I
That
guess.
could be fun. Shiro says Thor in the comics is amazing and very scary. Is he scary? Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I don't read a lot of Thor
Hmm.
in the comics. I did buy, it was like random. Sometimes come Avengers, sometimes come Teenage Mutants. So I don't know if it's too angry. I think the Thor from from Marvel Cinematic Universe is more funny than definitely much more funny than I remember in the comics.
Hmm. Perhaps not scary, but intimidating in some moments. Yeah, definitely. I think it is interesting. I think like the old Taika Waititi version of Thor is a little bit played for laughs, which um, I get the sense. I saw the Doomsday, the new Avengers trailers, and it feels like they're trying to get him back into that kind of dramatic acting role, which is interesting to see. I'm eager to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Now he have a daughter, so I don't know. Maybe she can be jeopardized.
Yeah, it's just like God of War, you know. Once he becomes a dad of war, um, there's the boy of dad. Uh, Definitely a lot of character development there. He was Galactus's
Yeah,
herald. Whoa.
indeed. We need some drama to kill some family members to make the story go forward.
Yeah, there's a good writing trope when you're making a D&D campaign. Make sure all your players have knives, and what a knife is something you can stab them with emotionally, to give their characters some development.
Oh, good idea, man. Good idea.
Yeah.
It's fun because Thor, they have to give him more more family members now because all his family members is already dead. I don't know.
They have to invent some. I
He
need.
have to adopt some.
Yeah.
Even his girlfriend die, man.
Hey guys, I listen. I'm running out of dramatic backstory elements, so I need to adopt like 5 new kids to.
Should someone kill all of them and I have to go after with some rage? Uh,
They'll bring
think that's
Loki's child horse to kill now. Yeah, what a strange bit of mythology that whole horse situation was. I mean, we got
which one?
Uh,
The Loki was a horse and he have a of that
yeah,
story or just tripping?
yeah. Loki, he turned into a horse, and then he became horse pregnant, and then that
Yeah,
horse that he had, this is canonical, by the way. That horse he had became Odin's horse, I think. Um, and Odin just rides his grandchild around. It's very strange. Mythology, man. You know that.
yeah. Some guys say that this horse story.
Hmm.
That's crazy. I don't know. Because I think most of the history of Viking and stuff and this mythology was rewrite by the
Hmm.
Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So the guys say that this horse story was like a way they mocking
Hmm.
the history of the North gods by put some things like that. I don't know. I would be a funny way to mock. I don't know if they have this sense of humor.
Well, what's fascinating too is the fact that that story stayed when they were purging the different, Norse stories. What ones didn't stay? Like which ones did they just completely get rid of? That's what I'm wondering about. But
Yeah, indeed, would be the most epic ones, I
yeah.
guess.
Anyway, back to this Thor that we're drawing here. Yeah. So with about 20 minutes remaining, what do you plan to do with this piece?
So let's block some values here and try to start some colors
Very nice.
because we can already paint this focal point here. Let's try to make things going forward a little bit more faster.
Hmm.
I think this could be his cape.
Loving those like nice flowy cloth lines. Very renaissancey.
Yeah, man, I love to put some cape against the
Mm,
wind,
the best.
but I always commit a sin that
Mm.
maybe makes sense, maybe not. Sometimes I put the wind work on the cape, but don't work on the hair. you know, it's a selective wind.
I'm sure there's a Marvel character that has the power of like selective dramatic weather. That I mean, if anyone, it would be Thor, because he's the god of thunder, storms. You can control the
Yeah,
wind.
indeed. So let's put just a suggestion of his armor here.
That's true, Raccoon, but you're thinking of Greek mythology, I think. Anyway, any questions from the chat about Tulio's processes as we are uh, nearing the finish eventually, pretty soon. Not soon, but soon. TM Blizzard soon.
Okay, no pressure. I'll finish here in 10 minutes. No.
Wow. Just magically becomes a fully rendered piece, and oh my goodness, how did this happen?
Yeah, Control R, Control render here, and everything will
We
be
actually finished the whole
be
piece right before the stream, but we're just kind of reverse engineering the process for y'all's viewing pleasure.
Yeah, indeed. I had to do that, man. It would be amazing. Oh man, I had to fought that yesterday and do all night. Would be a great idea.
Wonderful. Oh, that's neat. It does feel a bit like maybe the Rembrandt method of kind of hiding things in the shadows, so you don't have to add as much detail, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Is this exactly this technique I'm using here? Yeah,
Speaking of,
but
gone.
the idea is really try to focus the energy here. Was to be just a portrait, but I don't know. I did like the I really did like the pose, so I just build up on.
Speaking of mythology, it's Hercules says, When you begin this next stage, do you treat it more like a traditional painting, or do you put each aspect in its own layer?
Oh, I usually do too much layers,
Hmm.
just to the sake of control. I don't know. I don't like to lose too much control, but some years, I did start to try to more painterly style. So I just go until I have sure about my flat colors and my lighting. I keep a lot of layers, and then I just merge everything and start to work like a traditional over it.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a lot of different techniques out there. You know, just find one that works for you, and that's the best one. Obviously, for certain projects, you might need to keep layers very well separated because if they want to animate it, for instance. Um,
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes you don't have choice to don't have a lot of layers, but you can always work on one layer and then just cut the limbs and separate the things in the end.
yeah, cut off those limbs, just like Thor did in the one Avengers movie.
Think for this one I will.
Ooh, bit of dramatic lighting there.
Yeah, I think we start like that.
I think they call that the Rembrandt triangle.
It's real? I don't remember that. I did miss that class.
I think it's a triangle, but I think it's like a cheek triangle or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, this here,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
triangle here, I guess. Yeah, at that class I did watch.
Hmm. Nay, that's the only one that matters. Is that tiny triangle.
Yeah,
Um,
just do that and you are cool. Because
exactly.
when you have this triangle,
Mm,
I think usually means that the lighting is come like 3/4
mm, yeah,
from, and uh, that's a cool angle of lighting that reveal a good portion, and at the same time you have a nice uh, shadow silhouette.
yeah. It's always nice to see. Um, yeah. Honestly, though, we've gotten pretty darn far in just about an hour. I mean, this is looking very solid so far. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm not used to do live stream, so
Yeah,
I think I'm not to be so fast, but it's going somewhere, I guess.
it's all good. I mean, it's definitely a learning curve. I think as we do more and more live streams, um, artists might kind of settle into a groove and be able to do things a little more in line with their process, more efficiency. But I thank you all, lovely viewers, for being our guinea pigs, as it were. Uh, Lax Lakriti, I hope I'm saying that right, says, "Is the Moon Colony logo two Rembrandt triangles?" What a good question. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that guy is a
it
genius. I didn't thought that.
it was all planned from the very beginning. Yeah, you're right. Um, I'm actually, it's funny. The first time I saw the Moon Colony logo, I thought it was two sails, like a solar sailboat of some kind. Um,
Like from a boat, right?
yeah, I think it's an M. Is my
Yeah, it's
understanding? Yeah, it's M for Moon Colony.
me too. Me too. Me too. I think this is true. We have to ask directly,
Yeah, we'll have to.
Enra directly.
So when you were designing the logo, were you thinking about Rembrandt?
Oh, it would be a cool live stream. You interviewing Enra.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We're definitely looking at doing some potential portfolio reviews. Getting some feedback for some cool aspiring professional artists. That might be nice to see. So stay tuned. Keep yourself posted. You never know.
point, I just think on where will be my cast shadows. You know, I have the I have the lighting shape, so I just think where will be my my cast shadows, because the cast shadows do, do the trick that makes something look more 3D. So I'm just trying to cheat here a little bit.
Yeah, defining those forms. Very cool. And if we have any more questions for Tulio, now is the time to ask him. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Speaking of questions, Raccoon Girl says, do you prefer blur, smudge, or airbrush for blending?
Oh, I usually prefer smudge, but
Mm.
I did bought a brush pack from Greg Rutowski, and I'm trying to get used to use some mixer brush, because give more.
Mm.
I don't know. I think work a little bit better with colors. Even technically, the smudge too. I think desaturate a little bit and make the colors long terms a little bit unsaturated on the transition and stuff. And the mixer brush, you don't lose that, and you can gain some textures. Yeah, definitely try to use more mixer brush. I have a, like, I don't know if you can see on the screen. No, you cannot see on the screen. It's a separate. Damn it! It's a separate screen, but I have a bunch of mixer brush here that I try to experiment on my study sessions.
Mm. Um, it's Hercules says, for a piece like this one, on a normal day with no time constraints, would you be aiming to render to the point where you can get rid of the line layer? Or do you personally like to leave a solid line layer to sharpen the image? That's a good question.
Let me read it again. For business. Oh no,
So basically, I guess, do you hide the line layer or the sketch layer partway into the painting?
probably I'll try to incorporate to the painting,
Mm.
like, try to merge it up. If it's black white, it's very easy, because you can just smudge the lines here. I think I have my smudge too is not. Yeah, you can just smudge. Yeah, I just did a little mistake here. You can always smudge things here and start to render
Mm.
with the lines.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You can use the lines as occlusion, as shapes. You know, you can incorporate those lines to your piece, like this. This
Very
process
nice.
I did. Honestly, this process here that I would do for this guy, I did plan to do just a rough line, and then a more precise line, but would take too much time.
Mm.
I think we can render over this one.
Yeah, it's neat to see, because, in many ways, creativity does thrive under constraints. So being able to kind of, get that expedited process, leads to interesting problem solving, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, indeed. You try to find solutions that you don't visit when you have uh, much more time, and the time they usually work.
Mm.
It's always cool to try different approaches in different situations.
Yeah, totally. Let's see here. Details. Alrighty, folks. Do we have any last remaining questions? We got about 5 minutes remaining. We can always go a little overtime if needed as well, but um, officially, we're nearing the finish. But this is looking great, dude. I'm loving this old man Thor.
Oh, thanks, man. I think yeah, it's a drawing. I think that I would try to spend more time with this drawing here, but focal the really hinder on this point because I did try a good angle of light here, so everything here will be in the shadow. So I just need to do cool shapes
Hmm.
on this part to make it to sell it right, and just spend the most time of the hinder on the head here.
Heck yeah. Also, what do you like to listen to when you're working on images? Do you like to listen to music, audiobooks? I know we had the audiobook talk earlier.
Yeah, I like podcast and sometimes audiobook, sometimes music. Depend of the level of concentration and focus that I need because I have like a I don't know how I can say that a chart that when I have no music is the total focus, and then I have music, I lost a little bit of focus. I have podcast a little,
Hmm.
I lose a little bit more of focus. If I put some video or something like that, I lose even more, and then it's just way down. So
Hmm.
I just try to don't go to the music, but sometimes in the day I'm just tired. I just want to hear something, and I to keep going with the day.
Hmm.
So it's like a trade-off for me. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if everyone is like that. I think it's not. I think it's more personal.
You know, it's funny when I'm parking my car, I have to turn off the music to hear to see better. It's I don't know what's up with that. Um,
Yeah, man.
there's
Good to know. There's not.
yeah, there's like there's some kind of auditory processing. Taking in the data that takes a bit of extra mental energy, I would say. Um, I like music when I'm drawing because I think it's the least distracting, definitely. But um, sometimes you need that little bit of an extra kick to keep you going. Um, from Hercules, my final question would be: do you usually like to go from grayscale to gradient maps? And if so, how do you keep your pieces vibrant and not so muted or muddy with this technique?
Usually I go. It depends on the project because some cinematics that I work doing for Moon Colony, I usually do more black and white. But to keep the vibrance, like this cape here, like take it. There is a little trick that I can quickly try to teach here that will be useful because sometimes when the people try the gradient map, they do in color
Hmm.
or they do in normal. I do a little trick that I do in both. Let's set our color. Let's see. Okay.
Interesting.
So let's make a more desaturated color on the shadow.
I love the contrast of like the very deep crimson versus the grayscale. Actually, looks really pops out the color more.
Yeah. It's going. Yeah, this cape is already pretty cool. I think maybe we can do it in the face, but show here. Yeah, I have just few values here. I would have to have more values because when you have more values, it's easy to go smudgy. But sometimes what works is you have a normal layer and a color layer, because sometimes you want to keep your values, but just the color layer, you know, everything is look, uh, the shadows is too much saturated. So I try to turn on, I try to do the normal, but sometimes the normal mess up the value. So I try to control the opacity between the normal and the color, because with the color I can keep the values, and with the normal I can have my colors. So I
Mm.
try to balance it out both. Another trick is, I don't know, maybe you want the colors just of your normal gradient map, go just in your lighting. Like, I don't know, let's imagine a more cool lighting, not that cool. Okay, okay, let's get it down a little bit.
Also, we have one final question if you're ready.
Oh, just like here, just the thing you show here. Maybe you want this color here just in your light,
Mm.
and keep the desaturated. You just come here, and with the underline, you just select the. You just here you here in the blending options you can, uh, like, delete where choose where your gradient map will apply in the values. Here I take off the darker values, so it will be applied just in the lighting. So when you see that one color is a little bit muddy, you can do that. You can do a gradient map or a hard light and choose the range of values that will be applied, so you can boost that color. And you can always paint above after after you apply the gradient. You can just paint above with the color that you want. You don't need to use one or other. You can just use both.
Very nice. And one last question. When you're picking the base color, where on the wheel do you pick? High saturation, middle saturation?
So usually I try to, because it will depend on I'll try to understand what will be my palette. If I'll do like a Zorn palette, if I'll take from a movie, or if I'll build it myself, because I can just put the some 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 flat colors over here, like in gradient map. Like, I can do just like this, and you say, yeah, this is just one color. This don't work. Yeah, but wait just a second. But I can come here with a color balance and decide that my light is cool. So
Mm.
my light is cool, and my shadow are warmer. So it start working. You know, here, let me think you can see you'll be able to see my color wheel. No, I'm trying to put my color wheel here. Yeah. Now you can see my color wheel. Yeah. I think, in the, yeah. Now I have a difference between the variation of the temperature of the color. So it will depend a lot of the situation. Sometimes I do that. I just apply hard light as being my flat color, and use some filters to decide what the colors and the temperature will be my lighting. And sometimes I use a this will become more crazy, but sometimes I use a gradient map to decide my lighting in shadow. Like just do something very basically here. Let's imagine we have a cool, a warm light. Okay. So I think here like a gradient, like a hard light, because I'll put in the hard light mode. So my everything is above like 50% of the medium value. We add light, and everything below 50% of the medium value will add shadows. So just thinking, yeah, add a little bit, uh, just to add a little bit of warm in the light, and I'll add a little bit of of blue and cool in the shadow. And maybe the mid-tones will be a little bit hot here.
Wow.
Much less.
Looking
So in this
like a
point,
Norse statue.
yeah, don't make any sense. But when I put the hard light here, you know, more opacity I put here, more I will be applying more warm to the light and more cool to the shadow.
Mm.
So if I want like a green a green light, for example, I think here will be simply like that. Everything I will add green to all my light, and I will add blue to all my shadow, so I can control my light and shadow with gradient map. So I think this is a lot of fun because you have a bunch of tools in the Photoshop that you can adjust the lighting. So as we did talk in the beginning, I always try to experiment how I can go and which I try to decide this process by the end result. If I want this cinematic result, I'll try to go a little more toward my palette. I have a reference and sometimes use some filters and stuff. But you can always take a frame shooting and steal the colors of the frame shooting. So no one will sue you because you steal the, the the color gradient of a movie just to make it looks like so. It's basically that. I hope I help you. I did help you
Awesome.
understand how I think about colors when I'm doing a black and white version.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you all learned a ton from this. I certainly did. This is really good info to have. So, yeah, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Uh, Anything else we should know, Tulio, before we take a break here?
Oh no! I just want to have a time to work more on this. I don't know if you have another live stream to keep up with this, or I should finish in my spare time. But I really did like. I thought it would be a mess here, but I really did like this sketch. I don't know. I think the silhouette is very iconic. To do this live stream today with you, man.
Totally, yeah, it's been a pleasure. Definitely gonna have you on again. That's the plan. Um, and yeah, we can draw some more cool stuff together.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Heck yeah. Elvira says thank you for the stream. Hercules says thank you for the demo. We love your piece too, says Raccoon. So much love in the chat. Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, everyone.
yeah, Tulio. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a pleasure. Definitely show us that finished piece if you get the time. We'll share it with the community.
Oh, that's great, man. When I finish, I'll share with you, and you can share on the proper channels, or I'll post on my Instagram. But thank everyone to watching. It's the first live stream of the year. A long time I don't do live
Yeah,
stream. I hope I hope it was good.
you did amazing, man. Awesome stuff. All right. Um,
Thank you, man.
we will see you all next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, everyone. Bye bye.